everything's back the way it was.
Tak, tento potrebuje pomoc.
Clive! To what do I owe the pleasure?
I just wanted to see how the town's been faring since you brought everyone together.
Since we brought everyone together, all is absolutely wonderful. Conrad and Natalie's hands remain safely away from each other's throats and firmly at the helm. Our stores are full, and the bandits still too disorganized to raid them. Just as the good Lady Jane and Lord Underhill intended.
Are you a lord? Lubor's going to be one too. They're going to make him the Lord of Dalamil, because of how he stopped all the grown-ups from fighting.
It's the mayor of Dalamil, dear child, and the vote hasn't taken place just yet. But if the people wish me to lead them, I shall. And my first act will be to build a school so that menaces like you two learn not to interrupt your elders. Speaking of menaces, there may be a rather worrying one just over the horizon.
May there indeed.
I'm afraid the example Conrad and Natalie set in putting aside their differences and presenting a united front might have caught the bandits' attention. And they might have elected to take a similar approach. They have formed what one could call a League of Outlaws, and they grow more organized by the day.
But we'll fight them all off just like last time, no matter how many of them there are. Won't we, Lubor?
Of course we will. If we continue to work together, we can overcome any challenge we choose to face. The longer we avoid facing this one, the more difficult it will be, until the only way to overcome it might be to run for the hills. Our best hope is to nip these efforts at organization in the bud, by finding those ne'er-do-wells who have yet to join the cause, and ensuring that they never do. Perhaps a certain Lord Underhill might be willing to lend us his aid once more?
How could I refuse?
Thank you, my lord. Victor will fill you in on the particulars. I have him stationed by the desert gate, receiving and collating reports from my scouts. Such an amenable soul. He reminds me of you.
I'll go and speak with him.
What's the difference between a lord and a man?
Tak, čo to tu máme? Ojojoj, tu je toho hodne, no. Dobre, takže začneme Line of the Sand.
That's
A League of Outlaws. Sounds like we have some competition. Still in Dalamil, Victor?
Ah, Sid.
I thought you'd have returned to Cosnes by now.
I did. Then I came back. I've developed something of a fondness for the place. And having worked so hard to see it saved from one fate, it would seem remiss to abandon it to another. A sentiment Master Lubor certainly isn't shy about exploiting. Hence my doing his bidding yet again.
You're not the only one.
What does he want you to do?
He asked for my aid in putting down the bandits. And he said that you might be able to help me find them.
Then you've come at just the right time. I was on my way to speak with Conrad about how to organize our forces. There are more camps in the vicinity than we can safely strike at once. But we must strike together, and we must strike soon at as many camps as we can. We can't give this league of theirs time to rally its forces.
All right. Which camp shall I take?
There's one upriver. Just out there, across the dunes.
Leave it with me.
Tak, a hen tam hore to je až. Dobrý. Chocobo! Pojď sem. Tak. No, horší tu barikadu jsem si posadil na kůzku. Salamander! Vedľa!
That must be the camp Victor mentioned. Come on then, Toggle.
That's him! The one who killed Locke and Fingers! Take his head off! Toggle, kill!
On ma sekol práve keď som dopadol. Dvojka.
I'd better let Victor know.
Sid, where are you? Ah, I see the bandits didn't pose you any trouble.
No, but that's not why you're here, is it?
No. Something's happened. We need you back in Dalimil.
What is it?
The whole town's in uproar. They're saying that Lubor is a bearer.
What?
Seems that one of our parties wasn't as thorough as they should have been. They let one of the bandits escape, and his escape route took him right through Dalimil. Some of the children spotted him, and he was about to silence them. And when Lubor felled him with a bolt of magic, and without a crystal.
But that's not possible.
It is, if he's a bearer and has been hiding it all these years, which is what people are saying. If he has, well, I wouldn't blame him. No man is branded by choice. Still, all those people see is a man who's lied to them all his life. One who was made a leader of himself when the world believed he should have been a slave.
Fuck.
I don't know where we go from here, but I know one thing. Lubor needs all the friends he can get right now.
You're right.
And now everyone knows. I made it a habit to keep a crystal close at hand for just such an occasion. And when that occasion arose, I forgot to reach for it. Well, it was bound to come out sooner or later.
We're sorry, Lubor. We tried to keep running.
But we just couldn't anymore.
There's nothing to be sorry for. I rather enjoyed playing the hero for once. All that matters to me is that you two are safe.
Look at him talking to his betters like it's nothing. All lies, I'll wager. Just like the ones he fed us all these years.
Once people make up their minds, it's hard to change them. We need to do something, and quickly. Convince the people not to let their prejudices blind them. Convince them that nothing has changed. That their enemy lies outside these walls, not within them.
You're right. We should speak to everyone.
I'm glad you agree. I'll handle the townsfolk. I'm a Dalmek born and bred. They listen to me. You head to the tavern. Make Conrad and Natalie remember who Lubor really is. They know that Lubor and I are friends. I might not make for the most impartial of interlocutors. Lord Underhill of Randalar's League of Merchants, however, is a trusted and impartial mediator of note.
I'll do what I can. Lubor, stay here with the children. I can't promise anything, but we'll try.
And that is all I can ask of you.
Why are you taking the bearer's side?
Why do they always have to make such a fuss?
He knew all along that he was
Forgive me for disturbing you, but could I have a moment of your time?
I've seen your face before.
As have I. Lord Underhill, wasn't it? Of the League of Merchants.
That's right. I wanted to speak to you about Lubor.
The rumors that he's a bearer. All true, I'm afraid.
He'll never be mayor now. Not if I have anything to do with it.
But what of his wares? Bearer or no, his steel is highly valued throughout the Republic. In this, at least, he's done the town a service. Might that not earn him a little leniency?
Leniency? He pretended to be one of us when he was laughing behind our backs all the while.
I'm sorry, my lord, but he lied to us. He lied to you. He cannot be trusted.
So what do you propose? Will you drive him from his home? Close his forge?
Perhaps. That is a question for the people of Dalimil, and they will thank you not to get involved.
The townsfolk have made their minds up. There was nothing I could do.
Nor I. Conrad and Natalie refused to consider anything but their own wounded pride.
You never know. Once their anger is cooled, they might see things differently. For now, we should report back to Lubor.
All right.
Why the hell would Victor take the bearer's side?
For a share in you.
I assume the situation is hopeless?
There's still hope. But
perhaps not in this lifetime, I think it's fair to say.
You mustn't think like that, Lubor. Give them time. They'll come around. We'll talk some sense into them in the end, you'll see.
No, you won't. And your efforts would be better spent elsewhere.
But Lubor...
Rosina would often tell me that steel does not lie, that a blade is a reflection of the smith who forged it. To yourself be true, that was her point. Rather an ironic one when you consider that her life was taken with a blade of her own making. But I do not doubt that she was always true to herself and what she believed in, right to the end. And so must I be. I must do what I know to be right, no matter what others might think of me. And now, I know what that is. I must embrace my new role of villain so that the people of Dalimil have something to unite against. For only united can they hope to stand against the threat that awaits them. I'll need to make a suitably dramatic exit, of course.
Don't go, Lubor. You're the only one who was ever kind to us.
We'll be all alone. Again.
Trust me, little ones, it is for the best that I go. Not only for the town, but for you, too.
How could it possibly be for the best? These children need you. The least you can do is give the townspeople a chance to change their minds.
They would not take it, Victor. It's over.
Over, you say? And so just like that, you're going to throw this town and these children to the wolves? I thought you were better than this, but it seems you had me fooled as well.
Victor.
Forget it. Do what you will.
You sure you're making the right choice, Lubor?
Of those available to me, I believe it's the best one. Yes. Ah, but where are my manners? Here. A reward for clearing out that bandit camp. Right then. I have packing to do.
If there's anything I can do. Anything.
I'll bear it in mind. Thank you.
Zajímavý questík toto. Dobrá, idem na ďalší. Jednička je hentam. Toto je dvojka. A tu je ešte jeden samostatne. Dobre, pôjdeme sem. Čož tento quest je, hádam tu na vrchu. Takže to musíme ísť odtiaľto.
Fly, Ambrosia.
Troška sa prebehneme. Pozabijeme ďalších falanov, uvidíme, ktorí teraz tu budú. Prvý bol veľký, druhá bola veľká skupinka, a čo tento tretí? Vypadá, že tiež skupinka.
Be safe.
Nevybuchovaná bombačka. Asi zoberieme parády všetkých. Tak.
All yours, Torgal!
Ešte chvíľku, ešte chvíľku, ešte chvíľku. A jedno. Takže nič moc, čakal som, že to bude nejaký veľký chlapík. Škoda.
That's all of them.
Dobre, to by sme mohli odoslať. Teraz máme toto pre Kovára. Pre Blackhorna. Pre našeho Blacksmithera.
So Dravost is still standing. For now, at least.
If you can swing a hammer, you can swing a sword.
Máme tu merchanta, ktorý má čo? The Leon of the Orchestrion. Orchestrion ďalší. Tak ja si požičam iba toto a toto. Ďakujem.
Clive! You're here!
And the Akashic?
Mostly off to the north still. But I spoke to Doris's scouts and it turns out things are worse than I thought. There's swarms of them out there. Told old Snotty to be ready to seal the north gate. That should buy us some time if we need it. Enough for the villagers to barricade themselves inside their homes at least.
Well done.
Welcome back, Sid. I'd never have guessed, you know. Not if August hadn't let slip. Who'd have thought that the savior of Dravost would turn out to be the realm's most infamous outlaw? Keen to help us out again?
I am.
Thought you could sneak off without me, did you?
Blackthorn.
Oh, what are you doing here?
One of the scouts couldn't keep his voice down. Unlike my best mate who didn't think I deserved to know. Zoldan, how long's it been? Long enough for us two to turn into a pair of old codgers, I see.
That your idea of an apology? Prick.
Don't listen to him. You only did what you thought was best. For the village and that.
I did, yeah. But that ain't the whole of it. Vulcan, our master, didn't leave the chiefdom to the two of us. He left it to me. The best blacksmith in Dravost, barring himself, of course. Bloody stupid tradition, in my opinion. If someone's got talent, you should let them practice their craft, not ask them to settle petty feuds and barter for grain. Our master wasted half his life that way. I wasn't about to let that happen to me.
So you wasted half of mine instead?
You're what Dravost needed. Under me and my precious ideals, this place wouldn't have lasted a year. So I left to devote myself to the work and spare you lot the consequences. I may be a selfish prick, but I only did what I felt I had to.
What you had to do was your duty!
Even if it meant we all starved?
Enough. This is no time for bickering. You can finish beating each other up once Dravost is safe.
Fine. I've said my piece anyway.
Yeah, so have I.
Sorry, Clive. I shouldn't have stuck my nose in. We're short enough on time as it is. Still, give us a mo, would you? I need to get my head straight before any of them Akashic try to bite it off.
Čože, when you're ready, čo tam je až taký silný Akashic? Idem na to. Idem na to. Konečne nejaký dobrý súbežový bol.
We can't afford to waste any more time.
Right you are. Might be worth having one last word with the scouts, though. Don't want any nasty surprises, do we? Oh, and Blackthorn, you and Zoltan might be better off staying inside the...
Akashic on the move.
How close are they?
Within sight of the walls, and there are more coming up from the mines.
What was I saying about nasty surprises?
They'll wash right over us if we stay out in the open. We're pulling back behind the gates.
Good idea. Get yourselves inside, but keep your weapons handy.
Understood.
I'm prepared to fight if I have to.
Well, let's hope you don't. That's our job. Once the scouts are inside, order your men to barricade the gates. No heroic last stands, you hear me? No fighting at all if you can help it.
August's right. I've seen what Akashic beasts can do to armor. The people here are tough and willing, but they ain't equipped to face what's coming.
I'm going out there.
Čo sa furt vybavujete? Pustite ma na ňo.
As soon as I've left. I'll give you as much time as I can.
And if they kill you?
You evacuate. But it won't come to that. I promise.
You'd better be right.
Take good care of Dravost till I get back.
Leave it to me. And give those things what for, yeah?
Paroháč. A psíčkovia.
All right. Which one of you's first?
To som čakal niečo viac. Ja som zmačkol tu R1, no to nezalogovalo čas. Tak, taká. Čertovka.
That's better.
Počkaj, veď už nemá život.
I'm hurt, Torgal.
Aha, vás je tu viacej. No, poďte na to. Trofej bola veľká. Nevedel. To je pre Boha. Kašický grip, no jasne. Poď, poď. Jasne, že budeš tornáda robiť, že? Preletávať.
To me, boy.
As you're all ready.
Tak ja som sa tešil na poriadny súboj, niečo akože Hunter a
Apparently not.
Ale. Chiméra. Tohle je konečne súboj, ktorý stojí. Au. Ale do prčíc. Ty krása, ten peček má životov. Tak koľko to bolo damage, som si nevšimol. To bolo tesné. Prečo ja mám potvora sa byť do takému blbému výkvepe? No, konečne. Ale no tak. No tak. Tu máš. Škoda. Predtým mohlo byť tak za 70, že? No, tak toto bol lepší súboj. Než tie blbostičky, čo tam boli predtým.
Now, the question is, did I miss any?
Man alive! You're still in one piece!
I slew as many as I could.
As many as I could, he says. The old bleeding lot, more like it. Well, almost.
Only almost.
Yeah, one or two did try to sneak over the wall. But we got the bastards, don't you worry.
Good. Though you do know, more will come in time.
In time, yeah. But we can think about them later. Let's get you back inside.
Tak, toto sa mi páčilo, toto bolo fajn. To sa mi ľúbi.
Sid! You're even more fearsome than your reputation. Enough to give those Akashic monsters nightmares. I almost felt sorry for the wretched things. But mostly, I felt grateful. Dravoged won't forget what you did today.
I'm afraid I've only delayed the inevitable. There's no getting rid of that ether flood. Meaning that any living thing which stumbles into those mines will end up clawing at your walls again.
And that's if the flood don't spread. If it does, well, I hate to say it, but the village's days are numbered.
That may be, but we're staying just the same. With ether floods springing up all over, it's no less safe than anywhere, and more importantly, it's our home. We'll fortify the gates to the north, and I'll see that they're guarded day and night.
All right. Then we'll give you a hand shoring up those defenses.
As for you, Blackthorn, that's twice you've turned up when Dravoj needed you. So, thanks.
I shouldn't have stayed away so long. And I shouldn't have left without talking it over with you first.
Too bloody right you shouldn't. Though I doubt I'd have listened. I always envied you. How you made everything look so easy when, for me, it was anything but. You leaving gave me the perfect excuse to hate you. And from that day on, I never once stopped to wonder what it would have been like if you'd stayed. But what you said earlier, it was true. You'd have been the death of this place.
Finally, something we can agree on. I hope you see the sense of it eventually. You kept this place alive.
Alive, perhaps. Wealthy even, but... Dravozhd isn't what it once was. Our work used to be the pride of Dalmekia. Now, we churn out the same rubbish day after day, because it's easy and turns a profit. It's not about the craft anymore. I wouldn't send my sons to war wearing the shit most of our smiths are making. I've kept working, honing my skills, trying to lead by example, but no one sees the point. The average castle apprentice has as much passion for the craft as our current lot. Come back to us, Blackthorn. Remind Dravozhd what a true master blacksmith looks like. I'll even man those bellows of yours if it means we can work at the same forge again.
That's a kind offer. Kinder than I deserve. And I wish I could accept, but I'm needed elsewhere. There's people who trust their lives to my steel, and I daren't let them down.
Fair enough.
But that doesn't mean I couldn't visit from time to time. Let's see if we can't rekindle this town's passion for the craft, shall we?
I'd like that.
Just be sure to tell Snotty to let me in the next time I come calling, yeah?
Knowing him, he'd let you in anyway. Blackthorn. The Master Smith turned outlaw, back in my good graces. I never thought I'd see the day.
I'd say that went pretty well, wouldn't you?
Even better than I'd hoped.
Sid, I've got something for you.
Oh.
And this is?
A token of our lasting gratitude. But I'm of a mind to make you a far grander gift. Designs for a certain sword have been passed down from chief to chief for generations.
Now hold on, Zoltan. There's a reason no one's made that blade in centuries. There's not been a craftsman equal to the task. I'll admit your cinders make impressive steel, and I've learned to own an edge Odin will be proud of. But the engravings on that thing are enough to make a jeweler cry. And they're not just for show, either.
Have you forgotten what brought you back to Dravozhd in the first place? A certain ring? I knew I'd never surpass you with the hammer and tongs. So I turned my hand to a different kind of metalwork. Between the two of us, I'd say we're the equal of any master craftsman ever to have graced a forge.
You know what? I think you might be right. Clive, you wouldn't mind if Zoltan came back to the hideaway, would you?
He's more than welcome. As long as he can keep our secret.
Right. Zoltan, get your tools. We've got a legend to forge.
Tak, Hadvej speaks back home. Dobre, takže to už sa môžeme vrátiť. No a ešte nám tu dostávajú dva. Tak, poďme najprv semka hore, tábor si necháme nakoniec. Ja som čakal, že tu budú tri vedlejšaky a potom pojme na hlavnú linku. Ale tu ich je dneska jak nasraný. A to ešte neboli hanty.
You'll be pleased to know that the negotiations are progressing well.
That is good news.
Yes. Our comrade in Randala has just sent word that the contract should be signed very soon. But I still have much and more to prepare. It's a huge undertaking moving this many bearers at once. You couldn't do me a quick favor, could you?
Juj, hádam, že to nebolo také rýchle.
What is it this time? More wild beasts?
Nothing like that. I just need you to go over to the caravans and ask El how long we have until the bearers arrive. Find out exactly how much faster I need to get all these supplies moved.
All right. I'll go and ask.
Thanks, Clive. I owe you one.
Don't blame yourself, Elle. This is their fault, not yours.
I know, but...
No buts about it, all right?
Is something wrong?
Vonnie came to give me a message from our intermediary. The talks with the Republican army have fallen through. They've reached an agreement with the Silver Peak Consortium instead. Though prices have fallen of late, we deliberately offered above the going rate to try and deter other bidders. But the Consortium offered double what we did, and the army jumped at the chance.
And you had no opportunity to make a counteroffer?
None at all. And we were so close.
Elle? What's happened? I saw Vonnie leaving. She didn't look happy.
And with good reason.
But I thought we were the only ones the Fist were speaking to about the bearers. How did the Consortium even find out about this?
It's not so surprising. They have ears all over the Republic. This isn't over. The Consortium will have to sell these bearers eventually, and at the price they paid, buyers will be few and far between. I'm going to Randalar myself.
Alone? You sure that's wise?
Are you offering to be my bodyguard? How kind. Meet me at the checkpoint near the capital gates. I'll send an owl ahead and request a meeting. You go to Cashlock, Theo, and get everything ready. We've waited far too long as it is. Even if I fail to free these bearers, there will be others. Someone needs to prepare the place and keep any prowling beasts at bay.
Oh, and that's me, is it? Well, it looks like I'm following orders till she gets back from meeting the Silver Peak Consortium, who've been doing their best to undermine our scheme. She'll never join them after this, surely. No, she said it herself. She still has plans for Cashlock, even if this one falls through. She means to stay with us, then. I can't say I'm not happy to hear it, but... is this what she really wants?
You have to trust her.
You're right. It's what she wants now. And if Elle's off fighting for the cause, I should do my part too. So I bid you farewell and safe travels, my friend. I'll gather my men and leave for Cashlock. We'll make sure the place is well stocked and defended. You go to Randalar and see if you can stop my sister biting the Consortium's heads off. If she won't consider her prospects, someone has to.
I'll do my best. All right. To Randalar then.
Co to máme dělat?
Better not keep Eloise waiting.
Ještě taky kus cesty. No, pojďme. Můžu zavolat Čakoba. Vyběhl nejprve Paltovon.
Looks like this is the end of the road.
Chrissy!
When are they gonna let us through?
Leď, můj Čakobo, leď! No tak.
I hope I didn't keep you waiting. Did you arrange to speak with the Consortium?
Here they are now.
You wish to consult with me?
I did. It's about the bearers you recently purchased from the Fist. We had all but finished making arrangements to buy them ourselves, and then you stepped into the fray.
You misunderstand. The Consortium had an interest in purchasing them from the very first. It was only our regard for you that kept us from bidding. But your hesitancy in accepting our offer to you suggested that the regard was not neutral. And so we resumed our business.
I did not hesitate. I am simply not inclined to make such decisions without first giving them due consideration. But what is done is done. Come then. How much do you want for them?
Alas, you are too late yet again. We rarely take on such unconventional merchandise without a purchaser in mind. The bearers belong to him now.
Who is your buyer?
A trader from across the water. A most demanding fellow, if it's any consolation. He insisted the bearers be fed, dressed, even given their own bunks for the voyage over. That's what you get when you deal with continental types.
I wouldn't know.
Oh yes, the culture on the continent is quite different to ours. They pay good money for bearers not fit for the knacker's yard, and treat them like kings. But as long as they pay...
That does sound unusual. No matter then. If they've already left our shores, there's little that can be done. Allow me to withdraw my interest. And with it, my interest in joining your organization.
My associates will be sorry to hear that.
I'm sorry you weren't able to save them.
As am I. But I only have myself to blame. He was right, you see. The Silver Peak Consortium did intend to buy those bearers before I did. Their representative hinted at a possible purchase when he came to recruit me. I feigned interest in joining them in the hope he might be encouraged to tell me more. And he did just that. As soon as he left, I sent my own offer to Randalar.
So you never...
No. I entertained the Consortium's proposal solely so I could learn more about those bearers. But I was a fool to think they wouldn't find out. I knew exactly who I was dealing with.
You tried.
I did. And if what he said was true, the bearers are to be well treated. Which is something, at least. But they deserved more. I wanted so badly to see them freed.
Eloise! Eloise! Word from Cashlock. The village is under attack. A pack of beasts have come down from the mountains, and there's a dragon at its head. Theo and the others are trying to hold them off as best they can, but the odds are against them. They need help, and fast.
Theo!
I'll go on ahead.
Thank you, Clive. I'll gather some men and join you there. Just... make sure he's safe.
A jedeme, nejaké beštie.
Hold on, Theo. I'm coming.
No tak troška pobehni. Počkaj, kde to je? Juj! Tak počká, tak to bude rýchlejšie tádeto. To mala byť odbočka. Šups. Mali smrdie. Zavádzajte. Tak, ukáž. Čo tu máme? Čo, veď tu nič není.
Where's Theodore?
Upriver! He led the dragon that way to keep it from the village, but the whole area is flooded with ether. We just have to pray he makes it out in one piece.
I can do better than that. Torgal, with me.
Oj. Tohle by mohlo byť celkom fajn. Keď je to arena, tak vzadu. Oj, tu je to zamorené éterom, to není dobré. Toto normálny človek má problém rozdýchať. A nevyzerá to, že by ich tu bylo málo.
Damn it. The ether's too thick. These creatures have already turned. Nice try.
Dvojke. Trojke. Štvorka, odpad. No ukáž.
I can't waste any more time.
Kde je ten
I
veľký?
need to find Theodore before that dragon does.
Aha.
Looks like it's found me.
Akašický drak. Pri sam Bohu.
This thing's turned as well. This isn't going to be easy.
To si robia prdel. Čo to je tento?
Waken wind!
Počkaj, ja chcem vedieť to.
Too slow.
Ale dobre to stiahuje tú staminu toto. Pekne dostal do toho. Oh, Dragon Dance. To stiahneme na polovičku. Nech sa nám Bohu dať na polovičku. Jedinou ranou. Taká škoda. Končíš. Krásnych 75 000. Ani som nemrknul.
Clive? Theodore, you had me worried for...
Doriti, nie.
We have to get you out of here. I think it might be a little too late for that. Bearer or no, there's only so much ether a man can take, and that Drake just wouldn't let me leave. You have my thanks, Sid, for finishing what I could not. For keeping Elle's dream. Theodore!
Akasik Theodor. To je škoda.
Don't make me do this.
Stop it, Theo! Stop!
Stay back, Eloise! He's turned. And so will you! Take care of my sister. Theodore, wait. Goodbye, Elle.
Tak chlap mal gule, ty vole. Aj keď sme na hocičo, podrezať som seba, to je... niečo, čo skoro nikto nedokáže. Smekam pred ním, aby neublížil jak Cliveovi alebo sestre a aby ho Clive nemusel zabiť, sám si zobral život. Dneska si dám jedno rosené na Theodora.
I think I'll be all right now.
That was true bravery he showed. Leading the dragon away from the village like that. His first instinct was always to protect people. To put others' well-being before his own.
And now he's gone. Because I sent him to that place, against his will.
It wasn't against his will. He was ready to do whatever it took to show you he could stand on his own. So that you would finally be free to live your own life.
To live my own life? He never could come to terms with the choice I made.
What exactly happened? You once told me Theo was the first bearer you ever helped.
We grew up in Canva. We were born to one of the great trading houses. And I was chosen to inherit the family business. I had my father's head for figures, you see. Theo did not. While I studied the art of commerce, he played at soldiers instead. A late bloomer. In more ways than one. For unlike most bearers, it wasn't until his 15th summer that his powers awakened. My parents tried to drive him out of the house and into the care of the constables. But before they could, I took him into mine.
Theo told me something else. He clearly admired your devotion to the cause of freeing others like him from slavery. But he said you deserved a better life than this. He wanted to free you from what he called your bonds, just as you freed him from his.
I would be lying if I said I had not wondered from time to time how much easier my life might have been if I had allowed Theo to be taken and devoted myself to the family business instead. But I have never regretted the decision I made. Being with my brother meant more to me than tradition or reputation. I only had to look at him to remind myself of that night and the choice I made and the fact that I would make the same choice again in a heartbeat. He was never a burden. How could he even think that? If anything, I was the one who weighed him down.
You weren't, Eloise. He said it himself, that he had always been grateful to you for saving him, and that he wanted to repay you by letting you live the life you were denied. Neither you nor Theo weighed each other down. You loved one another. You did whatever was necessary to continue living your lives together, and you always would have.
You're right. All I ever wanted, all I ever did, it was so we could be together.
Že hlavne neskoč.
Oh, Theo. Why did you have to... I know Theo wanted me to move on, but I'm staying here at the Crimson Caravans to continue our work. We can make a difference here. We can help people, save them. I need nothing more from life than that. So I'll carry on doing what we do, ensuring that goods, people, bearers get where they need to be, bringing smiles to people's faces just like we always have, and to Theo's. Wherever he is. This is the life I have chosen. The life I will always choose.
I've made a choice of my own. To continue helping you however I can. Whenever you need it.
Thank you, Clive. Let's go on together then. For Theodore.
Level 43, dámy a páni, ideme. Teraz dostaneme toto, to je pekná od nich. Scarlet Cyclone.
Eloise isn't the type to give up. Well met.
You've a discerning eye. Many thanks. You've a discerning eye.
Dobra. No a zostáva nám posledný quest. Teda tu v tejto oblasti, v tábore ešte. Ale tento bol dobrý, no. Aj citový, no mi bolo smutno z toho. Opa. Vnútri. Kto by tu niečo po mne mohol? Oh my god, tyto. Tak počkaj, to bude zaujímavé.
Is there aught the Undying might assist you with this day?
Perhaps. My brother said that your order was helping him with his quest to uncover Ultima's origins. Have you learned anything of note since last we spoke?
Little and less, I regret to report.
I see.
Be assured, however, that we will not rest until the truth is known. Even now, our archaeologians scour ruins in every corner of the realm for traces of Ultima's touch.
Fallen ruins, I take it. Dating back as far as Phoenix Gate.
Indeed. Ultima's thralls are oft sighted among the remnants of the fallen civilization, as if protecting the secrets concealed within.
Secrets we'd see unearthed.
Should our methods be of interest, my lord, mayhap it would please you to observe some of our number at work.
Would that be possible?
Of course. A survey is being conducted not far from here. Perchance you are familiar with Kretov, a small hamlet built around a fallen airship. I was due to visit my colleagues there to collect their preliminary findings, but if you would consent to do so in my stead, I'm sure that they would be honored to relate any discoveries they have made to you directly.
OK.
Right.
Takže sa poďme pozrieť na archeológov, ktorí práve skúmajú jednu z loďou falenou, teda tú vzducholoď falenou, tú zvrcaninu.
Thank you. I will.
I wish you a safe journey, my lord. May the Firebird's flames burn ever in your heart.
A village built around an airship. Sounds like another lost wing.
Takže... A do... prdele. To je miesto, kam ešte nemôžem ísť. Na quest pošle niekde, kde nemôžem ísť? Jak je to možné? Alebo to je... Nie, to je moc ďaleko na to. To bude toto. Počkaj, ja to tam idem preskúmať. A pak sa teleportneme k tomu druhému a pôjdeme to pozrieť z druhej strany.
Let's go.
Yeah!
All right.
Nie, dá sa tu dostať takto, dobré. Aj dobrú cestu som si zvolil.
Enough of you, are there?
Ale aj dobrý súboj som si našiel. Sakra, aj s tými guľami. Gorka. Rýchlo, kým to funguje. Končíš. Ešte niekto? Je tu vajíčko. Čo je vo vajíčku? Ring of the Demolition? Bolo to Demolition? Nie som si istý. Ale chcel som ich chytnúť všetkých do parády.
Let there be light!
Ja, Torgal, ty zlodej Kilov. Určite sa tu ešte schováva veľmi veľa vecí. No a my poďme ďalej. No a ono to tu je tuto uzavreté, možno cez to vďaka tomu prejdeme teraz. Mostíček, jeden. Boj, boj. Boj. Tak je tu aj teleport. Klop, klop, hoši, ste doma? Ajaj, tak nie sú doma.
Oh no. You'll pay for this. There may still be survivors. Farewell.
Jasne, že to budú falení, veď sú pri ich lodi. Ja som myslel, že tu budú že sa vedia o to postarať, veď sú to nejakí tí mudrľanti, ne? Intelektuálové. A ne, oni sa tu nehajú pozabíjať. Ale... Jaké schované? Už som myslel, že to je nejaká priekopa. Fuj, jak som zavďakol.
Whatever that thing is,
Full
I'd say it's
gold?
their leader.
Jaké uhyby? Prečo som... Tak, toto bola dobrá stračka, že bol ďalej od mňa.
hurt, Torgal.
Tak to. Iba.
Nice try.
Down. Dobre, no, toto bol celkom zaujímavý súboj. S vylepšeným.
Should have stayed in the past. These must be Cyril's colleagues.
You have our thanks, stranger.
O, niekto prežil.
Who are you?
Ah, forgive me, my lord. I did not recognize you. You are Lord Rosfield, are you not? We are archaeologians tasked with surveying this site. When the echoes appeared, our brothers here occupied their attentions. Thanks to them, and to you, we were, for a mercy, able to see our duty to its conclusion.
You call that a mercy? Your brothers might still be alive if you put their safety before your duty. Surely this survey wasn't worth dying for.
We are charged with uncovering Ultima's origins, a duty of the highest import, as I'm sure you will agree.
And you think your dead brothers would agree with you too?
I know they would. They gave their lives for the cause, an honor to which all Undying aspire. Now, to what do we owe the honor of your presence, Lord Marquis?
Cyril told me of your work here, and I agreed to collect your findings in his stead.
I see. That is most kind. Pray, take them then, with our humble thanks. May the Firebird's flame burn ever in your heart, as it does in ours.
It's one thing to lay down your life for another, but for a servant.
No, jak som povedal, je to šialený kult. A že je cťou umrieť pre rozkaz od nich. Teda ako odo mňa, alebo od Joshua. Proste magori.
Ah, you are returned, my lord.
I collected your colleagues' preliminary findings. Here, take them.
Read report.
My thanks. I shall study them, and inform you forthwith if I discover aught that might aid you in your fight against Ultima.
Cyril, your survey party suffered several losses in Kretov. Losses which could have been avoided, had the others not chosen to complete their work, instead of saving their friends. Were these your orders?
No. This was their choice. Every Undying devotes his life to the service of the Phoenix. It is our sole duty, and should we die in discharging it, so be it.
Even when death is avoidable.
My lord, I fear that this is not a point over which it would be fruitful to argue. The Undying have served the Phoenix for countless generations, and your opinion of our methods, however earnest, is not like to change them. We live To serve the Phoenix. Our very order exists for that purpose, and that purpose alone.
Cyril, I know that you and your brethren answer only to Joshua, but allow me to offer you a word of advice. It does not further the cause of the Phoenix to have his loyal followers surrender their lives without good reason. Provide your survey parties with an escort, that they might live to do their duty for years to come. Think not only of how you can serve the Phoenix, but how Joshua would want you to serve him. Please. For all our sakes.
I thank you for your advice, my lord. If you will permit me to respond, our faith in his grace, Joshua Rossfield, is absolute. And we of the Undying will do what we believe is right to fulfill our duty unto him. As first shield to the Phoenix, I am sure you understand what it means to do one's duty.
I do.
Then we are of the same mind. And it is my hope that we may continue to do our duty together.
No ne, ja sa k vašemu kultu nepridám, aj keď som prvý. No tak pardon, neslúžia kráľovstvu, slúžia výhradne Fenixovi. Doba ľadová, Ice Age. No zase cooldown, som vyšší damage. No dobrá, tak to by sme mali. Prosím. Jo, toto je ten nové. Kretov. Fú, odovzdáme posledné dva, máme hotovo. 4 hodiny vedlejšakov? Ako mne to šibe? Ty kráso, táto hra je brutálna. Bude plná akcie a ide rýchlosťou svetla. Proste tá hlavná dejová linka alebo niektoré boje. Lebo sa potom vleče a naťahujú to tými ukecanými kecami, že to až bolí. Počkaj, Charon, ja som sa chcel pozrieť v obchode.
Let me tell you a story, Clive.
All right.
Them rumours Wetlegs were spreading. Might be they weren't just tales plucked out of thin air. You see, there were a time when I weren't too particular about who I sold steel to, so long as they paid me the right price. Some women lust after blood, others after flesh, but me, I were always one for gold. And to satisfy that lust, I sold to opposing armies, stabbed my every client in the back, made myself the most hated woman in the twins. But then one day I met a man who made me a different kind of offer. Said he'd give me access to a realm-wide community of like-minded individuals in constant need of steel and sundries. On the condition I sold to him and his alone.
Was that the first time you met Sid?
Aye. And I fell right into his damn trap. He was true to his word, so I ended up being true to mine. And I soon started making the best profits I've seen since taking up the trade. And all without aiding or abetting any outlaws. Except Sid himself, that is. Told me about his plan to topple the mother crystals, you know. Said that with them gone, the realm would want for all manner of things. An opportunity for the likes of me to mint gil. Why, I reckon an enterprising individual could find himself the richest dam in the twins. And that's when he had me. I emptied my stores that day and moved into the Hideaway proper. And the rest, as they say, is ancient bloody history. A dozen years on, and I'm still not the richest dam. Not for lack of trying, mind. But I can say that I have never been happier. You've all shown me there are some things more precious than gil.
That there are.
So don't you go messing it all up, or you'll have me to answer to.
Zajímavý príbeh od starenky. Ukáž, čo máš nové.
Aye, it's a dangerous world out there.
Tak, Runeblade máme, tam je toto, tam sú blbosti, Runebell to máme, OK, toto sme tiež kúpili, to inak idem pozrieť ku Kovárovi. Zadiepar Srand, Rock, Hateby, Increase limit break generation on 6% damage, increase limit break ammo for damage, automatic charge magic spell, zajímavé. Meteorit, Vivent, ježišmaria. Toto ma ani nezajíma a... Last Elixir? Keď padnem, automaticky sa mi obnoví všetko HPčko, limit guide, increase attack power 10%, increase defensive 30% na 60 sekúnd. Posledná záchrana, keby náhodou.
You'll not find a better price than that.
Don't tell me we've run out of Pepio nuts and all.
Dobre. Ježiš, že ich tu mám obi dvoch?
Ah, the man himself.
We were just about to make a start on that sword I promised you.
It's funny, but none of this would have been possible without your help. You remember Camille? We'll be using his leather work for the grip. The steel, meanwhile, will be tempered in a fire, burning the cinders you charmed out of old Zoltan here. And that whetstone from the Outer Isles, that'll be what gives the blade its edge. And the final flourish will be my talented colleagues' engraving.
A team effort led by the greatest blacksmith alive.
Now, save that talk till the thing's finished, yeah? Right. I'm ready if you are.
To the bellows it is then.
Takže my sme mu pozáňali nejakú tú kožu, meč, kladivko a toto a teraz dvaja najlepší kováči idú niečo urobiť. No čo urobili? Majú tam, čo to majú? Nejaký meč? Čo ste dokázali? Ten vyzerá pekne.
Sword to end all swords.
Ragnarok?
It's quite something.
I trust you'll take good care of it.
Thank you. Both of you.
So, does this make you pair the greatest craftsman alive then?
This? Nah. This was just following the footsteps of the greats of old. It'll take more than that to earn us our place in history.
No, dúfam, že bude mať damage aspoň 500.
Yeah.
Keď to má byť Ragnarok.
A list of materials.
Zoltan and I got talking on the long road back from Dravost.
We reckon with those items there, we could craft something even better than the Ragnarok. Something worthy of a legendary outlaw like yourself.
That's a weapon I'd like to see. You leave this list with me.
I was hoping you'd say that.
One legend at a time, eh, lads? Before you start on the next, who fancies raising a cup to friendship reforged?
Good idea. No more drinking to forget my past. It's about time I had something to celebrate.
Then tap the kegs! Vulcan's boys are on their way!
Guternal Desing Draft. Ragnarok 325. Gutenberg. Že máme nejaký nový recept, jo? Tak ukáž, čo to je.
Trouble with your gear, or...
Počkaj mi, neviem, že tu máš ďalší quest.
So, will it be?
Diamond Sword, blbostí. To prčic! Tu je ešte lepší meč než ten Ragnarok. Orihalkum, budem potrebovať ešte jedno. Darksteel 2-krát. Primitive Battlehorn 1. Dobre, toto potrebuje orihalku. Do prčíc. Aj toto bude potrebovať orihalku. Takže ja musím získať 3 orihalku, aby som ten meč vyrobil. Lebo ja chcem vyrobiť si tieto srandy. A čož mi tak pripomína, ja som si kúpil... Nie, žiaden meč tu určite nebude lepší. Ale ja som si kúpil tento rune belt. A môžeme ho dať na plus 1.
You can thank me later.
Ale môžeme ho dať na plus 2. O 1 viacej životy a defenzíva 3 dole. Počkaj, čo mi chyba? Jaj? Sanguine Insignia. 82, 28, 80...
Anything else?
82, 28. 82, 28, 82, 28. Aha. Ja už to mám? No dobré, no a tady máme Ragnarok teda. Budeme ho teda chvíľku používať, než vyrobíme hentam ten nový. Bože, tu je Scarlet Sinkle, Impulse, Fire, H. Diamond Dust, no jo, tohle je. No a ešte ideme hen tam hore dozadu. Odovzdať jeden úkol. Ukáž. No, ten vyzerá hodne pekne. Ragnarok. Ne mi pomôže teraz s hantami, keď sa nejaké odomknú. No a to orihalkum, premýšľam, kde sa dalo získať.
Canva lost.
Nebolo to z tých korytnačiek?
Can we read Miss Editor's story for a lesson today?
Nie, tam bol Mithril. Nie. Ty kokse, neviem, čo bolo z tých...
How was she? The Enterprise. Ah, Sid. Wasn't expecting you back so soon. So, is it good news or bad?
Good, thankfully. Here.
Ah, that's brilliant! Thanks a blimmin' million! I'll fit 'em to the smelter right away! May I present to
No,
you
akú piecku urobil?
the Telemon Furnace! Ain't bad, is she?
She's a beauty.
You saved my bacon again, Sid, and I ain't about to let your good deed go unrewarded.
It's fine, really. My bag's flexible enough already.
Oh, don't say that. I'm sure I can make a few improvements to it yet.
You could just buy me a bigger...
How about that clasp? Looks a bit stiff. Reckon you could loosen it up and make some more room? And I reckon I know how. With a new alloy we've been working on. The Telemon Furnace was just what we needed to perfect it. It's a metal, see? So it's lovely and strong, but it's also, well, stretchy, if you can believe it.
Stretchy metal. Well, if you insist.
That is the spirit. You'll love it, I promise. So, what do you reckon?
It's actually quite ingenious. Thank you, Owain.
Shh, don't mention it. You earned it. And I wanted to get some practice in using that metal anyway. Reckon we'll have all kinds of uses for it around the hideaway. Can't think of any right now, but that's our job, innit? Dreaming up new ways to make life easier around here. Maybe even out there, too. One day, the whole world's gonna know about the inventions you've helped us put together. That bag of yours will be the first of many. You mark my words.
They'll hardly believe their eyes, I'm sure.
Budeme mať viacej elixírov. Jak som dobre zachytil, tak mi vylepšil tašku. Jo. Ož, 8 potionov, 5 high potionov, 4 a 4. Hezký. Byť TUDS, trofej byla získaná. OK, dobré. Takže takto, no. A ja som si to oddychalkový rýchlo našiel. Ak som to dobre čítal, tak v hre ich iba 5. Jeden získate za vedľajší quest, ktorý sme tu ešte nemali. Ten iba bude. A je to quest, ktorý bol v... tu. Nordreach. Ten up-down new management, či ako to bolo, alebo niečo také. Že pod novou vládou. Tak keď ten quest bude 2, tak vtedy máme získať orichalku pri. No a ďalšie 4 sú iba z hantov S-kových. Takže tie 2, čo mám, tak to boli tie 2 S-kové hanty. Takže ďalší. Takže ma čakajú ďalšie 2 hanty. S-kové, čiže je veľká škoda, že ich je tak málo. Sorry. Ja si chcem doplniť materiály. Ďakujem. Ďakujem a to je všetko.
Come again. Oh, don't. I'm not much bothered either way.
Dobre, môžeme ísť teda na hlavnú linku, lebo hanty určite nie sú teraz nové. A questy by sme mali mať úplne totálne všetky hotové. Je ich krása, 4 hodiny questov. To ma poser. Toto bola zatím najväčšia hromadka questov, čo sme tu mali. A tipujem, že to ešte raz opakuje. Ukáž. Jo, máme čisto questy. Tady máme ale za renown minimálne odmenu. Jo, Ring of the Wrist Shot.
You earned this.
Dobre, Genji Gloves a tu máme Fallen Enigma. Dobrá.
Come again. I may have more for ya.
Tak, ukáž. Dobre, žiadne hanty. Dobre, poďme za Joshuom.
How are you feeling, Joshua?
Better than I was.
But not nearly as well as you should be. Your cuts and burns may have healed, but your body still bears the burden of every spell cast.
And what would you have had me do? It was no ordinary foe we faced. It was the Warden of Darkness. Yet still, it was not enough. The king could have ended me at any moment, but instead chose to toy with me like a curl does a mouse.
You underestimate yourself.
Oh, it was crystal clear. Only one man established his dominance that day, and that man was Barnabas. I'm sorry, brother. That was ill-spoken. It's just... I have never felt so powerless. And when so many are looking to us for strength, perhaps... No, perhaps the prince feels the same.
What is this place?
Don't move.
To je luxusný život. Tu zbraň ešte nepredali?
Here, it's fresh from the well.
Ale je to prčíce s ovládačom.
Grandmother told me spirits sometimes get lost, and that the lanterns guide them to their proper place. I set one on the river for her when she passed away.
The fiend works from the shadows. Was it you who guided my hand, then, Ultima? No, not you. This is my doing, my fault, my sin to bear. And for it, I must atone.
Your hurts are healing nicely. It was my poultices that saw you well.
You make them?
And sell them, or try to. Earns me enough for bread, most days.
Forgive me. I have nothing to...
I know, but I couldn't just leave you lying there. You're going then?
Of course. I'm healed. Thanks to you and your poultices.
Will you promise to come back and visit?
Well, Phoenix, it would seem that I owe you my wings.
Perhaps he can find an answer. You will be returning to Waloed soon, I gather.
I see no reason to wait.
Then neither do I.
I can think of a few, but I doubt they'll stop you. You will take your medicine.
Of course, Lady Daya.
Set on leaving already, are you?
How long will it take us to get back to Ash?
Dunno, about the same amount of time it took us to get here. Maybe less, if your uncle can find someone trustworthy to patch up the Enterprise. All depends on where we're putting into port, mind.
Yes. It's not as if we can put ashore wherever we choose. We have to assume that the whole of Ash is hostile, and that we'll be attacked on sight.
Then we must find a place they won't think to look. And I have an idea who might know of one.
The Professor! I'll go and tell you coming.
While you're plotting our course, I'll be in the shelves with your lawsman. I wish to pick his brains about Ultima.
Then I'll talk to Karen about supplies for the journey. They may not be easy to come by in Ash.
Veľké prípravy.
Your brother's body won't take much more of this recklessness. You know that, don't you?
I do.